Welcome to the PowerTripPodcast with your hosts,
Charmaine
and Saquon.
Hello, everyone.
What's up?
All right, so let's dive on in. So, I guess we could do a recap. So this past week, we actually were pretty busy. Well, not busy, but we just did a lot of things. So
Going by fast.
It did go by fast. So we went to a cooking demonstration that we got from like the bridal show, and we got a free trip. It's a 2-night, 3-day trip to anywhere nationwide.
We went to
stay. Yeah, well, I'm going in order.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, and it was for celebrity cookware. We're not sponsored, but you know they should. And what was the name of the cookware? Vitakraft. That cookware is so amazing. They had basically, well, this is for all my people who are, cooks and enjoy cooking. So basically it's stainless steel appliances, and all of their pots, pans, and cookware, you could take off the handles. So you can change them out. You can do stack cooking. For people who don't know what that is, that's where you have your larger pot on the bottom, and then you have the cover on it, or you have another pot that's upside down, and from that, heat is conducted, so you can place another cookware on top of that, and it'll cook. You can cook cakes in them. You can just cook everything in them.
Yeah,
and
they're cool.
Yeah, and they're oilless, so you don't need oil or even really water to cook your food, which is, actually a healthier way to eat. Not using oil or butter. Water's fine, but not using those things.
Yeah, they cooked was it pork chops or something?
One of them, I think he cooked chicken breast.
The first guy? Okay.
Without any water.
Yeah.
It was seasoned, and of course we didn't eat any because we're vegan, but he didn't even flip it, and both sides were nice and browned, and from the reviews everyone gave, the chicken was really soft and juicy.
Yeah. So
it was really great cookware. And I guess that could be a little health tip as well, is you don't really want to cook with oils, especially oils like olive oil. You definitely want to stay away from vegetable oil, just because it turns it has a low heating point. So basically when you heat it, it gets oxidized, and that's not good for your body. So if you do choose to stir fry, you want to use things like avocado oil or coconut oil. They have higher heating points.
Yeah. And another one that they mentioned there was like people that boil their vegetables. It's kind of pointless to boil them because you're basically losing all the nutrients and vitamins and everything
in the water. When you see the water turn colors, that's a lot of the nutrients that are seeping out of the vegetables. So through this method of cooking with their cookware, you get to retain those nutrients. So same thing with steaming. If you steam and you notice like the water at the bottom is full of the color from the vegetables, you're losing a lot of the minerals and vitamins from that. So so that's throwing in a little bit of a health tip, and I'll give you guys another one later. Yeah. So that was, I want to say that was Monday night or Tuesday. Monday night?
I think it was Monday.
Okay, so that was Monday night. And then I believe it was Tuesday night, then we went to check out our first venue open house.
Yeah.
Which was really nice. The venue was beautiful. The ceremony space. So we're thinking we are going to stick to an Arizona location. And now our goal is for a garden wedding. And so our first venue was gorgeous. The ceremony space was a beautiful garden, and just walking into it, you had just flowers and like tall, I don't want to call them trees necessarily, but like those trees that are near castles that are just full green. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, I don't know.
The technical term. Sorry guys, I sound a little slow. But they had those, and then they had in the ceremony space, they had waterfall, fountains. It was just gorgeous, the ceremony space. But then what we didn't really care for too much was the reception space. It was a little bit smaller than we would have liked, and it was a little bit dark as well inside. So
And the dance floor was kind of small.
oh yeah, the dance floor was very small. Overall though, the venue was nice. What else? Oh, so the bridal suite was beautiful. It was spacious. It was actually like 3 rooms in one. So they had the big open area where everybody could be. You can get just relax, hang out, get dressed. Then they had another room where you can get your makeup done, and it had like a full length mirror. Then there was another room where you could also just kind of chill. They even had a bathroom with a shower in it, and then you could also go outside if you wanted. Then we went over. Well, first we actually saw the groomsmen suite, and that thing was a box.
It was about the size of this room that we're in right now, actually.
Yeah, so it had a table in the center, and then chairs surrounding that, and then a TV on the wall, and that was about it.
Yeah.
It was like if you had, I would say it would be kind of okay for like 2-3 people in the room, but if you have like 4 groomsmen plus yourself, it would be claustrophobic in there.
Like I could almost touch both walls.
Both ends of the wall. Yeah. So Saquon didn't like that, and I want him to have a comfortable space too. One thing we have definitely noticed is that when you go to these events, whether it's the like a wedding expo or bridal expo, and most of them are called like bridal open house and bridal expos.
Yeah.
So they're geared towards us women. So when we go toward like talking to each vendor, they ignore him.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's crazy. So like they'll talk to me, even like the men's tuxedo, like the menswear.
Yeah, we went to the men's warehouse vendor. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I started the conversation.
Yeah,
actually.
You were asking some questions.
Yeah, I was asking some questions. And I mean, he started giving a rundown, and he did not look in my face.
Yeah.
He was speaking to her the whole time. Like, I didn't ask him anything. I wasn't there. I'm not going to be the one wearing the tux. I'm like, okay.
I know, because I told Saquon, I was like, listen, I need to see these, tuxedos that you're choosing before the wedding. I don't want to be surprised down the aisle. And so he asked the guy, he was like, do women typically do that? And he was like, yes, 95% of women either come with the guy while they're choosing their tux, or later on they come back and they're like, well, let's see what he got. So it's the norm, ladies. It's fine.
Tell him that something got discontinued.
No, I said that. I was like, you tell him.
He said that.
No, I was like, yeah, if I don't like it, tell him it's out of stock. But that was my little jokey joke. But yeah, so ladies, it's just normal for us to want to see what the guys look like. They want to be surprised, not I. So anyway, so that was that day. I would say today's vendor, because we also went to another bridal open house today, but I would say they were more inclusive of you, and maybe because I also made sure they were kind of inclusive. The vendors, like they talk to you more as well.
Oh yeah, I think they talked to me more because it was less people too.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But okay, we're not gonna jump there just yet. So that was Monday, and then Friday night we went to another cookware demonstration, and this one was dinner for 2. So it was nice. Their cookware was nice. I prefer the celebrity celebrity cookware demonstration that we went to. I feel like theirs was just higher quality. I like the features that they had more.
Yeah.
But this one, they did have some really nice selections. They had this one that was like, what was that one where you could plug it in?
I don't really know what to call it, but he said you could compare it to a slow cooker.
Yeah, it has like oil within
built in the bottom of it.
Yeah, built in the bottom of it, and it's a plug-in. So when it heats up, it's going to heat the oil, and that's how it cooks your food. So you don't have to put it on a fire or a stove or anything like that.
Yeah, and the oil never goes bad.
Right, because it's sealed, so it's never exposed to air or anything like that. So that was pretty cool, and the cookware wasn't bad. I just prefer the first one that we saw over this one.
I think that was the only item that I liked.
Really piqued your interest.
And the other vendor with the celebrity cookware, that's what it's called. They had
Oh, China.
Yeah, they had China sets as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and they did offer some great deals. So of course, everything you have to pay for. We got free wine glasses from both. This one, the last one we went to, we can have our names and our wedding date engraved in it, so we'll do that. But the deals that they had, I would say they were really great. So if you ever go in there, these cookware, they're only sold if you go to like a bridal show or like a women's expo or something like that. They're not sold online. They're not available online. They're professional cookware. So
yeah, you have to be invited to one of these
demonstrations. I think it was fun just to go and, get to check it out, see what's out there. And of course, we got vegetables because they didn't have anything else for us. But it was fine. It was good. And the food, you could definitely taste the flavor. And that's one thing, too, with the way the food cooks, you don't have to add a whole bunch of salt and seasoning because the flavor is still within the food and it's very rich.
Yeah, I don't think you mentioned it, but you know what? Going to the bridal expo and these bridal open houses, it sucks being vegan because everybody's there and you have all these vendors giving out samples and nobody caters to vegans at all.
They all tell us, oh yeah, we serve vegan food.
No.
So yeah, that's the only part that does suck because it would be nice to at least get to taste some of the food and some of the desserts so you know ahead of time which vendors you're interested in as far as catering goes.
Yeah, I get a feeling if they did have the option anyway, people would eat it up. And we wouldn't get it. So.
Well, I mean.
You never know.
You never know. But anyway, we could still do tastings, and we're definitely going to be doing tastings prior to our wedding once we secure a venue.
Yeah. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
I was going to talk about today.
About this venue we went to?
What were you going to say?
We skipped something. Because we skipped Monday.
I said that was Monday.
It's something that happened Monday that we skipped.
What?
We went to the gym. And we did these supersets on our calves and our legs and everything. And I mean...
Talk about sore.
Yeah.
We were supersets make you super sore because that's exactly what we were. It's, so basically when we first started working out, we were focused on doing heavier weights and we did a good amount of reps, but we didn't push it. Like we felt the burn, especially when we first started, but then after a while, it wasn't too bad. But this time we focused on more reps and more sets and did a little bit less weight. And that's really, 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 really got us. Yeah. And then the bad thing about it is, especially with Saquon, as when we come back from working out, he has to quickly get ready to go to work. So he didn't dedicate enough time to stretching. So that really got us. And we know better. We know we're supposed to stretch, and we have our foam rollers like we told you guys last time where we can roll out as well, but we didn't do it, so it got us and we literally could not go to the gym the next day.
Yeah,
like it was
crazy.
So tight. I don't know, our legs were so
next
tight.
2 days. I feel like the second day it was worse.
Yeah, it was worse on the second day. But that was our fault. Yeah. So another health tip. Listen, I'm just dropping them, y'all. Stretching is key. Stretching is so important. It can help prevent injuries. It can increase just flexibility, and it can also improve your workout. So make sure you stretch prior to working out and then following working out, and not no baby stretch, not no 5-minute stretch. Like you really need to do a good stretch and warm up your body.
Almost like a half hour.
Exactly.
Anything.
Yeah. You really want to just warm up your body, stretch your muscles, and
stretch before and after.
Yes. Make sure things aren't stagnant. Stretch it out, stretch it out, stretch it out.
Yeah.
So I did skip that.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in because I felt like that was like a monumental piece of my week.
Being sore. yeah, going in and out of cars like grandma and grandpa.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
But back to today.
That. So then today we went to our second bridal open house. And this one I was really excited about because of the pictures and just the all-inclusive packages that they offered. So a lot of venues that are especially specific for weddings, they'll include all-inclusive packaging. So this one included the DJ, photography, food, a cash bar, the ceremony, the reception, flowers, cake. Like, it included a lot. And then from the pictures, it was also very beautiful too, because it was just very lush, a lot of greenery. So I was excited to go see this, and my mom met us there. When we got there, it's a country club. So it's definitely
very nice.
Yeah, it's definitely beautiful scenery.
But the ceremony area.
The ceremony space we were not feeling. Not one bit.
I don't even know. Like, you know what? Okay. It looked bad. Mm-hmm. But when we walked outside.
And you know why? Because with pictures, you cut off what's around it.
Yeah.
So basically, the pictures still will come out beautiful because they're going to focus on, what's right there, the focal point. But once you see the full kit and caboodle, it's like, nah, this ain't our vision. Nah, we can't do this one.
I was surprised they even offered it like that.
Yeah, me too. And so basically, the way the ceremony space was set up, it's on an open golf course, and it has the step up. I wouldn't say a mantle. What is just a step up, like a cement platform that you step up on, and then there's a green bush that's kind of like an arch that blocks off the rest of the stage, that blocks off the stage. So that would be your backdrop, is the green bush. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it blocks off. Basically, there's a golf course behind it.
Mm-hmm. So that was the ceremony space. But then when you look directly to your left, it's the country club where people are sitting. There's a fire pit, and so one thing we did figure out. Right. Yeah, and to your right as well. So one thing we did figure out and determine today is that we prefer a private venue. So where we would have the entire venue for that day. Because I just don't want, randoms walking by, staring at the wedding, or, if our family gets a little rowdy or anything like that.
Yeah, we'd be making people feel real uncomfortable. We're bringing a lot of blackness up in there for them.
He keeps talking ignorant like that, but it's
the truth.
I don't feel like, who cares? Like, I just don't care about,
we might not care. We might still have a good time, but like I said, it won't make us uncomfortable.
They would feel necessarily uncomfortable. But it was a lot of older, non-melanated people there, but
far out there.
I don't think they'd feel that uncomfortable. But who knows? I don't know. That's not where my mind went. My mind just went I prefer to have the venue to ourselves because I don't want random people walking around or just being, able to be in our space. So for me, I just prefer to have our private venue, and for him as well, for the reasons he.
And we figured that out when we seen that wedding at the Gaylord in Baltimore. When we seen that wedding.
Oh.
And how we were walking by and we said it.
Oh, I don't remember. I mean, I remember the wedding. I didn't remember saying it, though. Yeah. But, yeah, so we determined that. And their reception space, though, was really nice.
It was.
It was, it was a good size. The dance floor was a good size. And then it was also very light in there. So it wasn't dark. And I really like how they have the, it's like these curtains with, lighting behind it. So at night, it would look really pretty. Basically, you can have the curtains closed off so that you can't see outside, and then behind it you would see just kind of lighting behind it. So it's just pretty. But yeah, so right now what I'm realizing is that I want the perfect venue. So basically, the first venue we went to had a beautiful ceremony area that I really loved. This one had a beautiful reception, but they're not the complete package. Yeah. So I'm praying that, we'll find the one that's perfect for us. Yeah. So we have a few more to go to, and I'm excited about going to those and checking those out as well. And I really like going to the open houses rather than doing the tours, because with the open houses, they set it up and they have the vendors there where you could talk to them, and you can also get an idea of what it would look like when it's time for your wedding.
Yeah.
So that's what I do enjoy doing those. So any newly engaged couples out there, check out any open houses and bridal expos, because you'll get a lot of great ideas. And also, we won a free cruise today during the raffle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically a cruise. It's in Arizona, so it's on a lake out here.
Yeah, it's a Lake Pleasant sightseeing cruise.
Yeah, it's a sightseeing cruise. So I'm excited about that. That was a nice win. And I'm hoping to win some more good stuff when we go to other open houses.
Yeah, because one venue, they gave away a whole free wedding.
Yeah, a nice free wedding. So I'm really hoping to win some things to save some money.
Yep.
But, yep, that's that. So anything else you want to talk about from our week or anything?
I had something on my mind, but I can't think about it right now. So we could keep moving.
Okay. So this week's topic, we just finished watching a few days ago the Surviving R. Kelly that came on Lifetime.
Yeah, and everybody's been talking about it, so.
Yeah, and everyone's been talking about it. I wasn't gonna watch it, but then I was like, let me just watch it, see what's going on.
I didn't want to watch it, but part of me, not saying that I didn't feel bad for the girls, but I didn't know the full extent of what was actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the whole history.
Yeah. I mean, you just didn't know anything. There's always rumors. There's always things that came out. And with our age, we were young when a lot of things first came out about him and about, women. And then, I think it was a few months ago, they came out with like the whole sex cult, and then you had the girl come on and say that it was a lie. So it was just a lot of things that you wouldn't assume or wouldn't know, until these women actually told their stories.
Yeah.
So
where do you start with this?
I don't really want to talk about him per se, or.
I mean, it's kind of about him and what's going on with them.
Well, I don't really want to. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it because we can. I feel like it's sick. It's disgusting. I feel like at the end of the day, because we also talked with my mom about it today. At the end of the day, what we came to the conclusion of was everyone really is at fault.
Yeah.
He's at fault. The person who molested and touched him is at fault. The people around him who enable this behavior is at fault.
Yeah, you have people rallying.
The people who support him are at fault. Like, support, even us. We were at fault at one point, I feel like. Just because it's like you still listen to his music, you kind of push that to the back of your mind or head, and you still enjoyed his music and supported his career to a certain extent. So, and then I also feel like, the parents are at fault. Like, everyone has played a part. Everyone plays a part. And at the end of the day, I do think it's important to get to the root cause of why is he doing this behavior? Why are these girls willing to stay? And, why are they going towards this knowing the history of this man? Why are the parents allowing it to happen? Why are they allowing their children to be around this man? It's just a lot of, I'll say, like, sickness in our community and people in general for this to even happen. And, the saddest thing to me, too, is, like, I know he's not the only person. He's just one who's been publicized and it's been broadcasted. But there's, probably millions of women, because you hear about sex trafficking and all that all the time. So it's just like, it's an epidemic, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which is really sad. But the reason why I don't really want to talk about him, I kind of just really want to talk about, like, the root cause of it and getting to the bottom of, okay, well, how can we prevent this in the future, and what needs to change? Like, what needs to happen?
I mean, that's why I'm saying, that's why I feel like part of it is kind of like we talking about him, because everything is based off.
But like I said, he's not the only person.
No, for
there's predators
for
all
this
in
specific,
jail.
Yeah, but for these things that he's done,
he's not the only person. He's not the only person who's ever done this. or who's doing it.
You don't think people doing it like, you think people doing it like how he doing it like that?
Yes. I honestly believe that.
I mean, maybe.
I don't think he's the only person, honestly. I think, well, it doesn't really matter who we're talking about. At the end of the day, it's disgusting and it shouldn't happen. But I do think that, you know, and not, like, I don't want to make excuses for anybody, but you do have to pay attention to the fact that he himself was molested as a child. Because I feel like that plays a role in his behavior going forward.
Yeah.
So I think him having that happen to him and then not getting the help he probably needed, well, he did need, following that, led to what he's doing now. So I think that, especially in families, a lot of things get swept under the rug, or what happens in this house stays in this house and is told, you know, to be a secret.
His family got a lot going on, obviously.
Yeah.
His brother, I don't know.
Yeah, his brother that's incarcerated in the docuseries, he didn't see a problem with what his brother was doing.
Yeah,
he felt like... Go ahead, babe. Sorry.
No, I was just saying he had a weird mindset.
Yeah, I mean, but he's also probably another one who was molested and he's incarcerated. Like, you know, like, I just feel like everybody has a story on why they are the way they are, and it's not an excuse. It's just an explanation on why they are the way they are. And does it make it right? No. Because at the end of the day, he still needs to pay for his actions.
Yeah.
You know, he still needs to be brought to justice. So I just feel like within the community, I feel like parents definitely need to listen and believe their children when they say these things have happened. Because a lot of times I feel like parents don't want to believe it. Especially if it's, you know, because they usually, when someone is sexually abused, it's by someone that they know. It's typically not going to be a stranger unless they're, you know, kidnapped or something like that. But it's usually someone they know. And I feel like as a parent or a family member, you don't want to believe someone else in your family did that to your child or did that to your niece, or, you know, you don't want to believe it. But I do think it's super important to listen to your kids, and when they tell you certain things, believe them and give them that space so that they can feel comfortable coming to you.
Well, talk about believing them. What you think about, like, as far as that docuseries that we've seen, the way those parents handled it?
So that's another thing. Parents being I want to say parents being a little bit irresponsible with the safety of their children.
Well, what you call it then?
I said they're being irresponsible.
Oh, I thought you said you won't call it that.
No, that's what I do call it.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like, to me, and I don't want to put the full blame on the parent either, but they have to take some responsibility as well.
Yeah, they do.
Because, one, with these rumors going around or these accusations and this, you know, in this situation specifically,
you don't let your guard down.
Well,
Sorry
not
for
even.
you off,
no, that's fine, baby. Not even letting your guard down. If there's this rumor going around about this person, it didn't come out of thin air.
Yeah, not multiple.
Yes, yeah. And knowing that he married a 15-year-old woman, little girl. She was a girl, not even a woman.
And had papers forged to say that she was 18.
Yeah, that's not okay. And if you knew this and said, well, the charges were dropped, okay, your point is what? People have money, and money holds power in this society. Yeah,
it's that, but then there's also this, you know, your mom mentioned it today, and, you know, I never even thought about it like that. I don't know why, but she said they were married, right? You know what he was doing to that girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that they were being sexually active, and she was 15 and he was over the age of 20. So at the end of the day, even just knowing that, then knowing he went to court for videotapes that were were distributed all over. So either you've seen them or you heard of them, and you still allowed your child to be around this man and trust him. And granted, I get like the notion where you said, okay, well, there was one set of parents who said, okay, our child's always going to be with somebody. We're not leaving our child alone with him so we can make sure this doesn't happen to our child. But one, fame, to me, fame and fortune and being well known, and it's not worth it to even work with somebody who is doing those things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work with you if that's your character. I don't even want that in my presence.
Yeah, why be associated with it?
Exactly. But a lot of people, unfortunately, do things for fame, for money, for
prestige and
yeah. And, these children, and a lot of people, talk about, oh, these children being fast and stuff. Sometimes, unfortunately, kids are fast, and that comes from a lot of things too. It could come their environment. It comes from their environment and their upbringing, and maybe not feeling loved, or maybe in school none of the boys there like them, but then you have an older man showing them attention, so they want that attention, they want that love, they want to feel beautiful. And granted, they should know better too, but they are still children at the end of the day. And it was this grown man's decision to go and, really, he was checking the scene and going in places where he knew they'd be.
Yeah, I'm still mad people was doing it for him.
Yeah.
That was kind of...
Yeah. But back to the parents, I just feel like, honestly, you should have just never put your child in that situation. Fame and money, and that's just never worth it. It's just never worth it to me. And then, it's sad because I'm sure they didn't think this would be the result of their actions. And now some of them haven't seen their children within, years. And I know that's heartbreaking. So that's why it's just like, I do feel bad for the parents because I'm sure well, I can't say no one, because it seems like that first case with the 14-year-old girl, her parents allowed her to still stay around him afterwards. I'm not sure.
They stayed around her.
Yeah, that's what it seems like from what Sparkle was saying.
And you were right. I think it was the dad.
Oh, who was the guitar player for him?
Yeah.
So in that case with the 14-year-old girl who was on the sex tape, her family allowed her to stay with him after that, and they were working with him and being around him still after that video surfaced. Mm-hmm. The other parents, I'm sure that wasn't their intention. I'm sure that wasn't what they expected to come from it. So I do feel bad for them, because I know now they regret their decision as well. And no one's perfect. And, we can all say, oh, that would never been me, da 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 da. But I always say, like, you don't know what you would have done in a certain situation. So, I could say up and down, like, no, my child would not be around him with these rumors going around. Nope. But it's like, honestly, back then when everything was going on, because everybody pretty much was still accepting him back then, and everybody was still listening to his music. He was still performing. He was still, super big, #1 on the Billboard. So,
see, but that's the thing.
What?
You say everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Do you feel as if you would have known something like that and would have done it? Because when I met you, you were the type that if you heard certain words in music, you wouldn't even dance to it.
I know.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I know.
So you can't really say everybody would have.
Majority, babe. Okay, majority. Because at that time though, I was still listening to his music.
Yeah, but also at the time, I and that's something I wanted to talk about is our upbringing with it and our parents.
Oh well, yeah, no.
Because
that wasn't going down.
What?
My mom wouldn't allow that to happen.
No, our parents wouldn't allowed it to happen. Mm-hmm. But I felt like our parents kind of filtered us away from what was going on. And yeah, okay, the radio was playing the music and everything like that, but they allowed it. You get what I'm saying? They
allowed us to listen to his music.
Yeah, and they knew what happened. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Although, like, granted, see me, I never seen that video until I was an adult.
Yeah, I didn't see the video until I was an adult either. I would say, okay, as far as our parents, I think it was just the climate of that time where, like I said, he was #1 on billboards. Everybody still was listening to him. He was still hosting BET. He was still singing for the Olympics. Like, he was still able to do what he's able to do. And I think also a big thing that played part in that was how long they put off his case for. So he didn't go to trial till 6 years after the allegations were made.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, out of mind, out of sight. Because it wasn't something that he kept going to court for, because if it was, then it would have been in the news all the time. They kind of let it go.
They let it go.
Everybody, like pretty much majority of people, yeah. Because all these singers and all these rappers who still worked with him.
I mean, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
So that's why I say we all take some of the blame for it, because he was still supported. So he still felt like, well, I can get away with this, you know?
Yeah, I mean.
So I do feel like my mom wouldn't have allowed me to go and work with him and be alone with him or anything like that.
No.
But that's why I still feel bad for the parents, but I do think, you know, and I'm sure they have taken responsibility and regret their decision to allow their child to work with him. Then, like you were saying before, the people around him. Because, you know, he can't read or write well, so he's not the one booking their flights. He's not the one, you know, well, he goes and scouts some people, but he literally, like the people on the docuseries, his former assistant, security guards, they stated that they went out, scouted girls for him. They seen the sex tapes. They can tell you he starved girls for 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Not that there's any level to wrongs.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is worse, them or him?
Him. I think he is, because he's doing it, but they're just as like, yeah, it's hard to say levels.
It's like they're his enforcers. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. From the docuseries, none of them said that these men also had sex with them, or these men put their hands on them. But they did sit back and allow it to happen, and they're just as bad, in my opinion. But he really has a sickness. He's really disgusting, because he's doing this. He's like, this is with his mind concocted to put into play. Because
I was thinking about when they said the girl got out and she was running down the street.
Oh, and they went.
And they went and chased her down.
Mm-hmm. And that's his people.
Yeah, and that's his people. Like, I think about it like think about if I was in a situation where, let's say somebody was hanging something over my head. I was being blackmailed, so I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. If I felt bad, you know, man, I would have tripped and fell. Something, let her get away. You get what I'm saying? She don't need to be here. Like,
They did say one staff member tried to help one girl escape one time, but it's still like you said, they still, to me, hold pretty much as much weight. But I still think he's just the worst out of it.
He is the monster, I guess.
Yeah, but for them to sit there and allow it and support it and help him, enable him. Like, disgusting. Yeah, and I honestly feel like they're accomplices, and action should be taken against them as well.
Yeah.
They knew everything that was going on. Like, the one, I think it was his security, said he's seen multiple videos. So it's like, you knew. And they can attest that, you know, like I said, he starved them. He had them, like, the different stages, how he trained them. So.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, so for them, they get the blame as well. Parents, him himself, us. I just feel like a lot of people, and it just, we don't have children yet, but it's like, I really want to have a tracker on my child.
Yeah, after seeing that, yeah.
It's like, I really do, because this world, and I see, like, now, like, when parents say, you know, they're just trying to protect their kids, and when parents are overprotective or, you know, have rules, which you, like, when you're a child, you're just like, oh man, come on. Like, you're not worried about all the dangers of the world. But when your parents watch these things and see what goes on, and they know what's happening in real life, it's scary to put your child out there, and God forbid something happen, because you think your child's in school. Prime example, in the docuseries, they thought their child was in school. She was in a hotel with him. Yeah,
and you know, I would. My kids are definitely probably getting a tracker now. I mean, like, definitely. Yeah. It's like a big thing, but you know, 18, I'll let them know. It's up to them, you know. We could get it removed if you want.
Babe, get it removed. No,
Yeah, it's gonna be like right up under this skin.
No, it's not. We're not putting nothing under our children's skin, but they will. Like, I know a lot of parents. You thinking
earrings or something, boy? You know how many earrings I done went through.
Listen, we're not gonna put anything under our children's skin, but I know a lot of parents nowadays use the phones to do the locations, but I feel like the phones can definitely easily be, left, thrown out.
All right, come on, Kai.
Sorry, you guys. It's Kai, of course, coming in to make his presence known. Right. Hi, baby. Hi. But anyway, yeah, but I feel like, I just want to know where my children are, and it's not because I don't trust them. It's because I don't trust the world, and if we got to go and handle some business to get our baby, we will have to go and do that. So, I don't know. It just makes you very wary and very protective. And I see why some parents are overprotective. And I don't want to get to that point. There's a balance to it, I feel like, where you do have to still give your child some leeway and trust them. But you cannot turn a blind eye. You cannot be naive, and
not in a situation like that.
Yeah, and you have to follow your instincts. So,
I mean, sure, I'm talking about not in a situation like that. My daughter is not gonna be in a room with a grown man by himself, ever. Yeah. Not until they are grown women themselves.
Yeah, no, unless it's family.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I mean,
if it's like her uncles, like my brothers, your brother,
yeah. I mean,
close family.
Okay, yeah, pretty much
trusted family. And even then, like I get what you're saying though. It's like we already said earlier,
because
a lot of times
people
it's
people
you know,
and somebody in your family that did it. That's why,
But if it's like, my brother picking her up, her with her cousins and, just doing something like that. But no, it's not like you're sleeping with a grown man or sleeping in a grown man, just with them or whatever. But yeah, it's tough.
And the big part is just, man, having those lines of communication with your child. And I mean, I guess, I don't even know if I would say it's lines of communication, because it seems like she had good communication with
one of the girls.
Yeah, one of the girls did have good communication with her parents.
Yeah, but kids are gonna hide things, and that's what they do too. And that's why it's like it definitely is a balance too on how nosy you gonna be, because because one set of parents had the phone linked to the iCloud, and it took them years to even remember think about
that.
Even looking that way.
Yeah, but sure.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's definitely tough, because as much as you want to protect your child from everything, you honestly can't. You can't protect your child from everything, and you don't want to cage them to where, they want to try to break free, because at the end of the day, kids who are very sheltered and stuff, once they are able to get free, they don't know any better. So those are the ones also who are easily manipulated and taken advantage of.
Yeah, sometimes they have it hard.
Yeah, so it's definitely a balance, and you really can only do the best you can, but it is important to pay attention to your kids. And I get it too, where it's a single mom who may be working multiple jobs or, trying to do the best they can for their child, and things happen as well. But
yeah.
I don't know. I pray for everybody involved, and I just pray that the women who are still held captive, that they're able to break free and find the strength to get away, and also get the help that they need. And I pray that justice is served, and, this can set a tone to where it never gets this far. It's never 30 years before action is taken and actually, a predator is held to the consequences for their actions. Yeah,
and I don't know. When I think about these things, the biggest part to me, is this. I want people to know, pain is not love. Mm-hmm. If someone is willing to inflict pain on you, that is not. It's no love there at all. I mean, unless it's literally intercourse and no hands involved,
What?
I'm just saying, intercourse with no hands involved. Sometimes some people may enjoy that. So.
But
No.
consensual.
Consensual, yeah. But like if it was me, you type thing.
Okay,
like,
we don't need to talk
boyfriend,
about
girlfriend,
husband, wife.
Husband,
How
wife.
about husband and wife?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, reality. Come on now.
But yeah. Well,
but okay,
listen.
but if it was like that, all right. But somebody slapping you in the face, punching you, locking you in rooms, starving you, and
even just talking down on you, breaking you down mentally, that's abuse. Mm-hmm. There's many forms of abuse. It doesn't just have to be physical. That isn't love. And we all need to learn to love ourselves before we even get into relationships. Because if you don't know how to love yourself, then you sometimes tend to accept what's not love from other people just because you have that attention and you have someone there to comfort you. Yeah. And you feel like that's love. But it's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like, go the other way. Go search for another feeling. Go
red flags, sorry.
Yeah, but go search for another feeling. Like,
no, not even search for another feeling. Have that love within yourself. It when you to me, you get back what you put out. So
but they searching. You got to understand that they attracted to that because of their upbringing. That's how they feel. Like, that's how you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You don't search for love to me.
I mean, yeah, don't search. No, I'm not saying search for love.
You said search for another feeling.
Yeah, another feeling. It don't have to be love, but it's a different feeling of like excitement and happiness and joy. Does not feel like pain, abuse, and negativity and darkness. It's completely different. It feels more exhilarating and things like that.
Yeah.
You when you actually feel that, the difference. Yeah. In my opinion.
I mean, but also a lot of times too within relationships you have the ups and you have the downs. And
no, you do, but it don't start out with nobody slapping you in your face.
It doesn't, but you also have to read the red flags. Like, pay attention to little things that kind of are off. And for example, if someone's forcing you to call them a certain type of way, or if someone you get with somebody and they're telling you you're the only guy that you can talk to, or taking you away from your family, like, pay attention to those signs in the beginning. Those are red flags.
You gotta face the wall when people come in the room.
Yeah, like, those are all just red flags where that's not what you want in a relationship. Yeah. Don't accept those things. You have to have boundaries and you have to stick to them and just love and respect yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And how honest I want to be.
You should be fully honest.
But not like it's a bad thing. So like, cause she's saying this red flags. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, listening to it, man, it was like they almost said a few things that I kind of thought about myself or, other people that I know, but I don't know what you think about that. Cause I don't know if I want to say like,
I think a lot of men have some controlling aspects to them. A lot, not all, have a lot of controlling aspects to them. And I do think some of it comes out of either insecurity or not maybe having their father around, or really just knowing how to love, not knowing how to express their love in a healthy way. Because it'll be like certain small things, maybe like what thing would you say reminds you of yourself?
I mean, I was just thinking about like, just the things where, we always like to mention it, but if I ask you to just, like text me when you go somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Like, so for me, like Saquon likes me to text him when I make it to my destination. So he knows I made it, I'm safe. When I'm leaving my destination.
Yeah, it's like, just let me know. Like,
because he just wants to know, like, okay, if I, God forbid something happened to me, he could tell you, like, okay, well, she just left this long ago, or she made it here. She told me she made it, and that's the last time I heard from her.
Yeah, because in my opinion, it's just kind of like, I'm with you every day. Like, if something did happen to you, people come, like, they're going to question me.
Yeah.
You know.
So to me, because, you know, why am I checking in with anybody? I'm a grown woman. So to me at first, I was just like, you're doing too much. Because the thing with me is, you want me to do this, and if I forget, like, you're getting an attitude. Not anymore, but this is in the beginning of our relationship. Like, you would get an attitude and, like, really get mad, and I'm like, I forgot. Like, chill out. And the thing is, too, like, I forgot you got an attitude, but you don't even do it. You don't check in, like, and tell me everything.
And I don't. And, you know, I apologize about that. And because I try to, you know, I don't really get mad about it too much. I don't feel like.
No, now you don't get mad at all.
Because, you know, a big part was finding out where I get the crap from. Like,
and that's important, fellas.
Yeah, you got to figure out.
And ladies.
Yeah, find out where problems be coming from.
Yes.
Like, and I wouldn't even say that it's a problem, because I don't.
To get mad.
No, all right, yeah, getting the attitude, yeah, but doing it, I don't think it's a problem. The reason why I do it, I don't think it's a problem. But where it derives from, I got to actually see firsthand, I guess, more
the different levels of how it could be a problem.
But as a child, I didn't see it like this.
Yeah. So, okay, because we didn't talk in circles, but it wasn't probably clear because they don't, like, we know the background, so you
think I should just say it?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, I will say this though. A lot of times, the things that we do and the little weird things. So, like, for him, that was something important. To me, I'm like, I can care less. Like, you know, we'll hit each other up when we hit each other up, which is every day, of course, but throughout the day. But I didn't think, like, he needed to text me all the time when he was leaving or when he made it, and I didn't think I needed to do it as well. But those things come from our upbringing or people that we saw around us. Mm-hmm. So when you understand where they come from, you can say, okay, well, is this healthy or is this not healthy? And what's the true reason behind me doing it? So with him, he was able to see, okay, the level he does it on is healthy, minus the attitude. He had to lose that. Like, I guess once he saw where it came from, he was able to kind of realize there was no need to get an attitude if I'm just trying to do this for her safety. It's okay that she forgot. Like, I don't know why you were getting an attitude anyway. But anyhow, that's besides the point.
Although sometimes if you just not say nothing at all.
But you still can't get mad when you
don't
do
be
it.
mad. Nah, I know, but
I'm saying back then, like, to me, it's just like,
oh, no, I'm talking about
how are you gonna get mad when you don't even follow through with something you want me to do?
No, I'm saying now, even if you just go to work and it's coming up on, like.
But that you should know, when I get to work, if I don't text you, it's because I have patients waiting there for me. Yeah, so it doesn't matter because you don't ever text me. So anyway, like I said, we digress. But understanding where it comes from is important because then you can know, is this a healthy habit or is this unhealthy? Yeah. Once you know the root cause of it, and then you can also understand why you do it, and you can either make a change to it if necessary, or you can, adapt, whatever, or leave it.
Understanding gives you just
a lot of clarity.
Yeah, it gives you a different feeling to everything.
It does, and it, like, I honestly will say, like, once, that's one thing I appreciate about you is that you definitely do reflect and you can pinpoint where things derive from, your actions and stuff derive from, so that if it's something that, is part of your growth process on whether you need to let it go or change it, whatever, you understand why and the how. Yeah. Because when you see other people, like, so if you do find out where it came from and it came from someone else in your family or like friends or whoever, and you could look at it and see it in their situation from the outside looking in, and you may see that, okay, that's crazy. That's overboard. That is controlling. That's unhealthy. And you can make an adjustment and say, okay, I don't want to be like that. And I'm glad I got to see it from the outside looking in and understand where I got it from so I can now make a change from it. Because a lot of times people just blindly do certain things and they just say, well, that's just my preference, but don't really understand why that's their preference.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, that was a good point. Definitely reflect.
Please.
And just be willing to change and grow. Because like we said, like, a lot of guys, I think, have certain, and women as well. Women have some restrictions on men too. Like, even like dancing. Like, I don't really care if you dance with a woman at the club. If it's, just like a small dance. Nothing crazy, nothing extra. Like, to me, it doesn't really bother me. Honestly, we don't even go out like that. So it doesn't happen.
What's up, man?
Really, ever. Kai, stop, because you're going to mess that up. Sorry, guys. So it doesn't ever really happen. Yeah. But it doesn't bother me. It's a dance to me.
I'm going to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. At this point, I feel like there's no reason for no girl to be grinding up on me.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't think there's a reason for it.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
And you know what? I can't even say. Okay, while we were dating in the beginning, it didn't bother me. I don't know, because it hasn't, like I said, it hasn't happened in years. Yeah. Like, I mean, over 5 years.
I seen you dance at, at parties too, I guess.
But I dance by myself.
No, you've danced with people.
That was over 5 years ago.
No, okay, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. For both of us, it was like over 5 years ago. So now, I can't say that I'd be fine with it. Because if I probably saw it, I don't know. You wouldn't even do it. You wouldn't?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah. So it's like, that's true. Maybe, guys, okay, I won't say that then. Maybe while we were dating, it was okay in the beginning. But now that we're about to get married and he's about to be my husband, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where we at now, like, in the beginning, like, the first few years, it was just kind of like, I don't know. We were still getting to know each other.
Yeah, you're growing. And that's the point of, starting from me. When I get in a relationship, I'm trying to feel this person out, get to know them, and see if we can build a future together.
Yeah, it was that, and also that was kind of a part of our lives.
Your life, because I was not a partier like that.
I mean, but you were going to parties?
Here and there. I was not a partier.
First day I met you, we went to a party.
We did not. Oh, well, it was like a welcome back to school.
Okay,
bash, and it was at a hotel pool. Like,
within that same month, you went to a party, and I remember I was knocked out, asleep.
No.
You don't remember I was asleep at the house and y'all went to DV8?
No, I don't really remember that, honestly.
Okay, well, yeah, you was going to parties before me, like more than me.
I barely went.
In the beginning, it took me about a month or two to start partying.
Anyway, y'all, don't listen to the lies. I didn't party like that. But anyway, in the beginning of our relationship, it was different. So that's another thing, too. It's like, as a couple, you guys grow. And certain things that maybe were acceptable for you both in the beginning may not be later on in your relationship. So it's also important to keep those lines of communication open to where you guys discuss what you're comfortable with and what you're not.
Yeah, because this is the first time we talked about that.
Yeah, because it doesn't happen. So there was really never a reason to talk about it until, now. But it's just important to be on the same page and make sure you guys see eye to eye with certain things. Because there are, like, when you talk to different couples, there's certain things that they may be okay with that we're not.
Yeah. And you know what? What I've learned is talking to other couples. Talking to other couples is hard because you see, we could sit here and admit, we have an opinion about it, but we don't really do it. Mm-hmm. But when you go talk to someone else about it, they're giving you their opinion, but they don't really reflect on the fact whether it happens or not in their relationship. I don't think so.
Oh, you think they're just going off of the top of their head, like, nah, I'd be cool with it, or no, I wouldn't want that at all.
Same way how you said with the R. Kelly situation, it's like, you don't know how you would handle the situation.
Right, unless you were in it, yeah. That's true. That's true.
So it's actually kind of difficult sometimes.
Yeah, it is true to say that because like I had to really take a step back because I just said too now that I'd be okay with you dancing with a girl, but in all honesty, I don't know. Yeah. If I seen that now, I might have an issue. Yeah, you would. You don't even know how you would feel about it. I don't. I honestly don't. So yeah, I think that's another important thing. So reflecting on basically why you behave in certain ways and seeing if, okay, as a man or as a woman, am I being kind of controlling? Am I giving this person the freedom? Like having open discussion with them to make sure that you're not overstepping that boundary. Because I will say if you look up online and see the list of things that can be considered controlling, you may actively do some of those things. Yeah. And it may not be that intent is to control that person. They may just be your preferences. but those are things that could be looked at as controlling.
Yeah.
So having communication with your partner and looking back and reflecting on, okay, why am I desiring these certain things, can give you, a clue to, okay, is this controlling or is this not? And is this something that we just agree with that we don't want in our relationship? Because if you guys are in agreement with it, then that's just a preference,
Yeah, and keep in mind, I don't think it's one-sided. I think for one, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship.
Nope.
But when it comes to that list, I honestly think both sides of the relationship have something on that list.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not just going to be the male and it's not just going to be the female. So everybody, we all have things to work on, and that's just part of life's journey and, of us growing, figuring out who we are, what our purpose is in this world, and then having the blessing of being able to do that with someone that you love, your best friend, your soulmate. So
it's the power trip.
It's the power trip. Oh, that's a good way to end it. Yeah. We are coming up on an hour.
You want to give that quick health tip or what?
I'll give it next time. I gave them a few goodies this one. So you guys just remember that you want to cook. If you are cooking with oil, make sure it's avocado oil or coconut oil, or look up other oils that have a high heat point. Otherwise, the oils will get oxidized and it won't be healthy for you to eat. And then, what was the other one?
Was it stretching or something like that?
Stretching, yes. Thanks, baby. So also make sure you're stretching prior to and following your workout. Maybe choose a day also just during the week on top of all of that where you just stretch. Make sure you guys are stretching.
And I feel like we mentioned stretching in the last episode, but I'm not sure. But on top of stretching, drink water.
Yes, drink water. That's how you flush toxins out of your body.
Yeah.
And especially when you're working out and you're stretching, that's helping getting things circulating. So you don't want them just to sit in your body. You want them to be flushed out. So drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, we are out.
Have a good week.
Mm-hmm.